keep a watchful eye open when exploring the swamps of Louisiana. The Rougarou might just cross your path. The swamps of Louisiana can be hauntingly beautiful. The waters dotted with bald cypress or water tupelo, trees thick with cobweb-like Spanish moss, painting the backdrop to so many southern ghost stories. You may think that an alligator is the only creature you need fear if gliding through the swamps, but you may be mistaken. It is in the murky forests of Louisiana that the Rougarou, a werewolf-like beast, is said to roam. Described as having a human-like body and dog or wolf-like head, the Rougarou is said to stalk the swamps, searching for prey. The history of the Rougarou is just as rich as the habitat where it is said to reside. It began in, of all places, medieval France. Townspeople in the 16th century would quake in fear of the Lougarou, or werewolves in English. The creatures were blamed for a myriad of disasters, like livestock and human deaths and disappearances. It was also a fine deterrent for children, helping to keep them inside at night and from wandering to places they shouldn't go. The truly dark side of the story comes, of course, when people try to take justice into their own hands, unjustly imprisoning people they believe to be werewolves. Of course, stories of werewolves remain of interest to this day, although many have taken on different colors and hues as stories are passed down. For example, some may argue that the Michigan Dogman, which we covered previously, is a modern telling of the werewolf story. Our focus here, however, is the Rougarou, which is unique to the New Orleans area. The name Rougarou is an update to the loup-garou from French, to Cajun, which we can think of as a combination of French and English. While other stories of swamp monsters like the Honey Island Swamp Monster, which again we covered previously, and even Bigfoot, come with a small amount of magic around them, the Rougarou is drenched in it, and is often associated with religious action, or inaction, and other religious experiences. In one telling of the legend, the Rougarou will hunt and attack Catholics who do not obey the rules for Lent. In another, the Rougarou is actually a person placed under a witch's spell. The cursed person has 101 days to pass the curse on to someone else, otherwise they will always be cursed. In one well-known folk story, a woman was traveling through the swamp when she ran into a Rougarou. Terrified, she wanted nothing more than to tell her husband of the encounter. However, she knew that doing so would curse her, so she had to remain silent for the full 101 days in order to be free of the creature's curse. Another story is that of a young boy traveling home from the woods. A wild dog began to follow him, biting at his ankles. When the boy tried to scare the dog off with a pocket knife, he ended up cutting the creature, which, as you guessed, was no wild dog at all, but a Rougarou. This prick was enough to transfer the curse, and now the boy needed to be silent for 101 days, or else he too would be a Rougarou. Unlike the woman in the previous story, the boy was unable to keep quiet and ended up telling his family. After sharing his secret, the boy began disappearing at night and was eventually never seen again. It was assumed that the curse had fully taken over and that he'd become the haunting beast. Now, what if you happen to come across a Rougarou? Well, the recommended course of action is a bit odd. Apparently, the creature cannot count past 12, and if you place 13 items in front of it, it will attempt to count them but fail each time, doomed to start over until the sun rises and it turns back into a human. Now, of all the potential ways to escape a cryptid, this is by far the strangest one I've heard of. So what exactly is a Rougarou? Could it be a werewolf, or just a folk story used to scare Catholics during Lent or keep children in line? Until concrete proof of the creature comes to light, we may simply have to enjoy the stories. But still be wary when traveling through Louisiana. Thank you for listening to tonight's story. Tune back in next week as we dive into the world of cryptids, extraterrestrials, and the great unknown. Good night.